No question, the big game in the Premier League this weekend is at Old Trafford. Manchester United against Chelsea. United 41% according to the SBI to get the win. Chelsea 32%, 27% the draw. So many subplots going into this tie. Of course, we saw the feud between the two coaches a couple of months ago.
Yeah, we like that.
More of course that. You do.
Well, I didn't really. It got a bit silly.
No, it's good that neither has commented on it, which makes it good.
And they're not friends.
Well, no.
So they'll be one of the customary, you know.
Yeah, just one of them, and that's it.
One of those soft handshakes. It's
like Valentine's Day at the Burley House.
What's it?
Just a handshake.
I think Mourinho will factor in the other games. Liverpool can leapfrog them, and they're playing West Ham. Tottenham can go a point behind. This is if they lose.
Yep.
Tottenham can go a point behind them, and they're playing Crystal Palace, who have got. It's like the Red Cross. I mean, they're just stretcher after stretcher. There were so many injured players. And I think that'll just make him even more petrified to make sure he doesn't lose, particularly as it's Chelsea and particularly because it's Antonio Conte. I don't think he'll give a stuff whether it's entertaining for the Old Trafford fans or not.
So we're saying that if you offered Mourinho a draw before kick-off, 0-0 draw, he would take it? Really?
Absolutely. Tottenham can go a point behind. This is if they lose.
Yep.
Tottenham can go a point behind them, and they're playing Crystal Palace, who have got. It's like the Red Cross. I mean, they're just stretcher after stretcher. There were so many injured players. And I think that'll just make him even more petrified to make sure he doesn't lose, particularly as it's Chelsea and particularly because it's Antonio Conte. I don't think he'll give a stuff whether it's entertaining for the Old Trafford fans or not.
So we're saying that if you offered Mourinho a draw before kick-off, 0-0 draw, he would take it? Really?
Absolutely.
When was the last time you saw him setting his team out in a big game, home or away, to go and win it? Can you help me? Because I can't remember. He 100% is going to set his stall out to not lose anything. And let's maybe try and build into it, and then maybe we can go and get ahead, and then the opposition, Chelsea, have to come at us. I mean, that's how he'll be thinking. He ain't sitting there going, you know what, we're going to show them. We're going to show everybody that that game against Sevilla was a one-off. We're going to show them that we can play attacking football, and what better team to do it against than Chelsea.
But would that criticism not have stung over the last 48 hours in the sense that he wants to have that?
Well, it hasn't stung throughout his entire managerial career. I mean, to the point, when has... He's already conceded that City are going to win the title. So now it's about finishing top four. When has Jose Mourinho ever in his managerial career, not just in Manchester United, gone for a win when a draw will do? He hasn't. He will set his team up.
Why will a draw do?
A draw will do because it maintains a three-point gap between them and Chelsea, regardless of what happens with Liverpool and Spurs. So a draw will do in terms of continuing to keep them in the top four. He's never set a team out to win. He will set a team out for 0-0 and hope to nick one later on. And that'll be icing on the cake. If he walks off with a 0-0, job done. And that's not going to bother him. It won't sting, no. It's not stung in the last, what, 10 years?
Arsenal against Manchester City. City coming into this tie 66% favourite. Arsenal at 34%. I suppose, Craig, you were mentioning, we were talking off air. Last year we were looking ahead to the FA Cup final. We were saying, well, look, Chelsea are going to win this. They're going to do the double. Didn't give Arsenal too much chance. Could you see history repeating itself here?
No, I can't, because I just think Man City, particularly now that they're out the FA Cup as well, we want to put a marker down here, get the first trophy, because everybody's talking about them, and everybody has been, you know, oh, the quadruple and all that sort of stuff. They haven't picked a trophy up yet, so they've got to get that in the bag. I think the SBI is probably fair enough. They are big favourites, but you're right, that game showed that on any given day, Arsenal can put on a performance. I just don't see them doing it over 90 minutes against this City side, not with the one or two problems they've got. But Wenger needs it.
Yeah.
Wenger and Arsenal need it big time.
How do you go about it if you're Arsenal, Stevie? How do you stop Manchester City?
I think they have to look at what Liverpool did and close them really early and high because...
Have they got the personnel to do that?
Well, I think you need, if they're going to do it, then they need to get players on the field that can get around. And I think they do. I think they have to go with a 3-5-2. That's what I would do. I would have legs up front, Aubameyang and Welbeck. I would play 5 in the middle to make sure that they can squeeze high and have 3 at the back. So, which will probably end up at stages being 5. But that's what you need against Manchester City. They fling that many players forward that you need numbers to defend against them.
Will Wenger employ that? Will he have seen that Liverpool game and use it as a template?
You know, you talk about stubborn. Wenger will go out and try and do what they do, and that's, well, this is how we play and this is how we're going to do it. And that's what they did against Tottenham and got blasted. I mean, it finished 1-0, but it should have been 4 or 5. So I wouldn't be shocked if he did that.
Right.
But he shouldn't.
Arsene Wenger, for me, is still trying to find what's his best lineup, what's his best shape, with the new signings coming in. And I think this is a good opportunity for him to explore that a little bit further. Look, pound for pound, no question, City are the better of the two teams. Right now, City are by far the more consistent of the two. So in a sense, Arsenal are not hiding to nothing. So go out, play a game as naturally as it may come, and see if you can get the better of City.
Is that not a bit naive, Shay?
Absolutely.
Isn't that been the problem for Arsenal last few years? They go into these big games and go in with this attitude, we're going to do it our way.
Well, the thing, it's a one-off in a cup, in a cup final. And so there's not a whole lot to lose here. It's not about...
There is, Shay.
If
City win 4 or 5-0...
They're not losing ground on the top 4. They're not losing ground on whoever is in 4th place. They're the second best by a long way of these two teams. And you can try to think and reframe this as best you can. City are by far better than Arsenal.
Are we really going to be shocked if Arsenal get beat 3 or 4?
No, we're not.
Are we really? We're not. Arsenal going into this game absolutely underdogs. No question.
But you can't just approach it like that, with that kind of, well, we're going to go in and play the way we play.
No, I'm not saying that's what they should do. I'm saying that's what they will do, and that's what he does. That's what he did against Chelsea, and actually they ended up winning the game. And you've got to look at City. City lost the cup final. I know it was a different manager, but they did lose a cup final to Wigan. So it's possible. Is it likely? No. And again, I started by saying we will not be shocked if they lose 3 or 4, because we won't.
They were underdogs in getting here because everybody thought Chelsea over 2 legs would beat them, but I mean, Chelsea haven't been great. But they had so many changes, Arsenal, at Stamford Bridge, and Chelsea let them off the hook. I mean, he left Sanchez on the bench in the first leg of that semi-final. Iwobi played. I mean, I think Chambers and Holding might have played at the back if memory serves me right. And Chelsea were so bad, they let them off, and then Arsenal were the better team in the second leg and went through. But I do think City will have to have a poor day.
Right.
You know, I think Arsenal can get a result if City have a poor day. If City don't have a poor day and they've got the heads on and they play well and they get all the key players on the ball and involved and they defend properly, I think they win it by a couple. I really do. But the Europa League's keeping Arsenal going just now, isn't it? That's his parachute for whatever happens.
Yeah.
Well, I know they've got AC Milan, but that is the parachute that he will use if they get a spanking off Man City. Well, we're still trying to get in the Champions League via the Europa League. And it's kind of, I think, kind of frustrating, must be for Arsenal fans, because they always know that's around the corner.
Arsenal against Milan, certainly the one that would stand out out of all of the 8 ties. You look at others as well. Atletico Madrid against Lokomotiv, and you've also got Borussia Dortmund against Red Bull Salzburg, CSKA Moscow against Lyon. But let's focus on Milan against Arsenal. Arsenal 65% favourites to advance.
Did the SPI not see?
Did you see there was
against Ostersund? Did you not see them against Ostersund? How's that possible?
The only thing you can offer is that, of everybody, probably AC Milan are as inconsistent as Arsenal, and you're not quite sure what you quite get out of them.
But they've changed, and they have in recent weeks. You know, just come in.
They've been better. AC Milan have not been great. They've been better than they were. They've been better than what we come to expect over the last couple of seasons. They've not been great. Second leg also back in London. I think that plays into Arsenal's favour. Maybe goes into the thinking or the calculations for the SPI. But these are two inconsistent teams who have brighter histories that they'd like us all to remember.
I mean, if he doesn't go, Shaq, if he loses this game on Sunday, right, against Man City, and then goes out to AC Milan, team that were top of the tree in Europe for a long time, but clearly haven't been for a while. Two clubs floundering around. If he does that, and that's, I mean, I've been uber negative here, but why change the habit of a lifetime? I mean, how the hell can he stay on next year? I know he's got a contract, but if they go out the Europa League, they get pasted in the Cup, they're not even in the race for the top four, how the hell can Wenger stay on? I think he will, but it should be a couple of weeks it should define, or a few weeks it should define whether he is actually the manager of Arsenal next year or not. But I don't think that'll be the case. Frustrating.
You got going through in that time?
I've got AC Milan going through. As you said, they've been better recently, but how can you trust Arsenal? I mean, as I said, you saw them against Ostersund. How can you trust them to beat anybody?
Was that not just a complacency thing?
Listen, if it had been a couple of crazy minutes, then I would have said yes. But the fact is, for 90 minutes, they were outplayed at home. At home. Against a Swedish side? Come on.
So AC Milan to go through?
Arsenal. I'm going with the SPI.
Why are you smiling when you say it?
Because I can't believe I'm going with the SPI.
And for Arsenal. Craig?
AC Milan. I think Arsenal, honestly, it's got to a point that I think they need a couple of good pastings to make it, just to make him go.
Sure.
I really think
It's not going to happen, though. It's not going to happen. Well, not the pastings. Whether they got pasting or not, he's not going. That's the trouble.
I know they're in the cup final. I get that. But Stevie pointed out earlier, Wigan were in the cup final, Cardiff and Portsmouth were in cup finals. Birmingham City beat Arsenal in this League Cup final a few years ago and they got relegated. You can get to cup finals. The longer project and the bigger picture here is that Wenger and the coaching staff at Arsenal just need to go long term, whatever happens this weekend.
Welcome into extra time. Should we get straight to it?
Go on then.
What's more likely, Arsenal to reach the Europa League final or Spurs to reach the Champions League quarter-final?
Quarter-final?
Spurs.
Yes. Spurs?
Yeah.
I've only got one game to play.
Yeah.
At home. I think I'll go with Spurs.
Why did it take so long?
That's just how his brain operates.
Oh.
I mean, AC Milan aren't exactly the cream of the crop in Europe.
They get to the Europa League final.
Europa League final.
Oh, I thought it was quarter-final.
Europa League final.
Here's the thing, Stevie.
I never clean my glasses earlier.
No, I know, but here's how we got over that. He reads them out.
Well, you want to speak a lot clearer than you've been doing. Clearly.
Clearly,
Obviously.
so that's evidence that he doesn't actually listen to you. Is that right?
I'll try my best not to.
You're not listening.
Dan, read it clearer, will you?
Hey?
Should Arsenal go on all-out attack, or rather a conservative approach against Manchester City on Sunday?
Well, what's all out attack?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
11 up front.
Sorry?
11 up front.
I mean, I think they should try and go and... I don't think they should allow City just to play out for the back and do as they please, put it that way. I think they've got to try and get in the head and mess the game plan up.
What was your question? Conservative?
Yeah, conservative's an option, Shaq.
Did you say... I thought you said conservative.
They went conservative against Tottenham, didn't they? They got blasted, right?
They're going to get blasted anyway.
They probably will do, but...
At least
they may as well go for it and
at
go
least they
up
get
tight
rest.
and squeeze them and get after it.
Good.
Might as well.
It's a lot easier waking up the following morning having lost when you've given it a go
Okay.
than having any regrets, Dan. Have you ever woken up the next day and had any regrets?
No.
Hey?
Don't answer that. Don't answer that.
Now, that's a proper question.
Is Manchester United where Anthony Martial belongs, or should he seek opportunity elsewhere?
It depends if he wants to play every week. He's quite happy playing every now and again, coming off the bench, then he's in a perfect spot.
He's got France to think about in the summer, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too late for that now in terms of moving.
Oh dear. What's happened to your leg?
Got something on my trousers.
But you slivered.
You've been itching a lot.
Yeah, what
You've been itching a lot today,
What's
though.
going on?
It's just, I don't know what to do.
Because they're so loose these days, isn't it?
Well, you
All
know.
that weight loss.
It's just disappearing,
Yeah, I
you.
know.
I didn't recognise you when I walked in the day.
Oh, sorry, who are you? It's not me.
Hey,
Hanging off me.
what? You look ill.
I come out the gym the day and you were in there still trotting away. I haven't seen you for a while, Shaq. And I haven't seen you ever. And he was walking past the gym when I walked out.
Oh, was he?
And he said, what's in
How
there?
far
He
did you
said,
run today, Dan?
I was like, what's going on in there?
How far did you run today?
I ran for 5 miles today.
Man.
Little legs.
How often are you in the gym? How often do you go?
3 days a week.
How long
How
have
many
you been
days?
going?
He goes 3.
Right.
How long have you been going? Come on.
4 weeks.
4 weeks? He's not any different from me, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's not trying to, he's thin enough. I mean, he can't be
What
in
does
it.
that mean?
You've tried,
does that mean?
you've tried these jackets on. He,
What does that mean?
Well, what have I got to lose?
yeah, he's nothing to lose.
Although I will treat myself at happy hour tomorrow, which Craig hates. He's the only person I know who hates happy
I
hour.
thought you were going to say a happy meal for a minute.
Stevie and I were talking about this. You and Matt Donaldson, our colleague, go to this happy. It's not in our. When we go out, we go out properly, right? We don't do these like, let us go and have a couple of hours, jolly up because it's a bit cheap. We go full blast.
Full blast.
And get smashed.
Yep.
On alcohol, obviously.
What?
Before anybody starts.
I asked him.
Although I am off the beer at the moment, so I
You
can't do
are
it.
off the bit.
2.5 weeks. Sorry.
I said to him, when's happy hour? He went, 46.
Yeah.
That's not happy hour, that's 2 hours.
Well, there you go then. Bonus. Buy one, get one
I mean,
free.
it's, and he's the guy that he goes drinking with.
Who would that be?
He drives,
And
so
who
he
is
only
that?
has a non-alcoholic lager top. I mean, it's very exciting.
But he has a lot. He has a lot of food.
Oh yeah.
Who is it you going with?
Marky Mark. He's having a
There you
baby soon.
Well,
Oh, is that what it is? I wonder if he looked a bit lamb.
he's not mentioned it.
Okay. Anything else?
So he's eating for 2 in the happy hour as well.
Oysters.